Well, hello people, Peter here, down in the old man shed. Yes, it's Sunday afternoon, it's 2 o'clock and already it's 26 degrees. Alright, so I've come down here to make the video quick and then I'm out of here because it's getting warmer, and I think the country is started of yet another heat wave, starting with the end of this weekend and then into Monday and everything. They're telling us down in the southeast that we're going to be hitting 30s, 31s again, which is too much for me. So I won't be coming down that often into the shed if it's that hot, because at the moment, although it's 26, I got the door open, the sun's not oh, helicopter coming over, the sun's not shining in through the open door, burning me. Probably a police helicopter, I should think. Yeah, anyway, right, thank you. Yeah, so I'll get this over and done with now, and then I'll shut up shop and go in and then come down when it's a bit cooler. But what's the video about? Well guys, I got reminded from Facebook, on Facebook a few days ago, and then it came up with a sort of an alert saying your memories on Facebook, and it said 7 years ago, your memories. And I thought, well, what is it? So I clicked on the picture, and it was a picture of the track plan that I used of Toridan Road. So I thought, blimey, so that's when I obviously started thinking about a layout in the shed and the track plan, you know, going through forums, having a little look and see what I could do with the fact that I knew in the shed I had the space that I could comfortably use as 7x4. Actually, I could have probably made it 8x4 now, looking back on it, because there is a bit of space at the end there that I could have used. With hindsight, I could have done. But nevertheless, with the 7x4, you know, 7x4 footprint in my head, I went around having a look at layouts and what I could do, and I found one, and I adapted it, and I followed it, and it's been down for maybe 6.5 years now. I won't say 7, because it was 7 years that I had a track plan, and then funny enough, when we're in August now, and I think that's probably when I started the laying it. So yeah, not far short of 7 years, not quite 7 years old, but not far short of that. And that's it guys, that's what I made a video. I thought I'd show you, I thought I'd film the road, the layout, explaining to you its makeup, the fact I've used Hornby set track instead of Pico. The one up, the layout up in the loft, I used Pico, and I remember the you know, faffing around having to cut things so that I could get the joins together, and for some reason or other I just thought to myself, no, I don't want to go through that again, I'll use Hornby. So yeah, you know, people, whenever they think of layouts, you know, they want to go the Pico way. Anyway, but I think even though using Hornby set track, I think it's turned out all right, and the reason why I think I've had reliable running from it for nearly 7 years, and that's what I'll go over on the video and show you the whole layout. And I filmed the plan. I've got an image on the laptop, so I'll show you on the laptop the image that, you know, I first started off with all those years ago, and then I explain to you, do a zoom in on the track itself, because I think the reason why you know, it's been working so well is that it's a very simple layout. There's no inclines. The only thing you worry about is it's got second and third radius curves, and it's first, you know, the set track points, you know, they're not streamline points, you know, so they're quite tight curves, even though they're still supposed to be second radius evidently. But yeah, so that's it. So Toridan Road is absolutely simple, you know, no electrical points. I change the points manually because it's not big. As I'm sitting here talking to you, I've got access to 6 points, you know. I just reach across and, you know, flick the thing, and that's it. You know, maybe the one at the back is the one I've got to stand up and change, but I don't do that often. So yeah, and I think that's why it's been so reliable, and that's what we discuss on the video, right? And then I'll put some running clips featuring, of course, yeah, you guessed it, a new loco. So, but yeah, I mean, I've got it running around now. There's 2 trains running around now, and no sound on, so you can hear me, but they're running silently, absolutely perfect. And yeah, very happy with them. And so I'll probably do, before I go in, I'll try and do some more filming of that particular loco, and you'll see it. And it's gorgeous. Alright, but that's it now. So I'll do that, and then I'll get in before it gets even hotter, and then have to see how hot it does get again during the week. So yeah, keeps my time down here until it's late evening when it's cooled down a little bit. But that's it then, guys. Alright, so I'll put some running clips on the end, but that's it. It's just to have a little look, and it's just explaining to you Toridan Road, its makeup, how what it's running on it, and I think that. Alright, so that's it. Love and leave you until next time then, guys. Alright, all the very, very best. Bye for now. Bye bye. Okay, guys, let's have a look at Toridan Road then. Alright, just to explain. It's 7 foot by 4 foot base, 2 baseboards, a 4x4 and a 4x3, joined in the middle. Where's the centre? There's the actual join. So obviously that goes straight across the board, but you can't, with all the scenic and everything, you can't see where the joins are now. So the track went across the join, so there's no cutting of any track or anything. But with all the scenic work, you can't see the join. But it was bolted together with using biscuits as well to keep the baseboards together, and it's on 6 legs, all level, covered in cork from one corner to the other. So there's no cork just underneath the track. Everything is flat as such, so therefore the ballast, where the shoulder, where the ballast petered out, it then got met by the scenic, apart from, say like here, obviously not, the ballast finished there. There's the actual top of the baseboard, just painted, but we've got a fence there, a demarcation line. But no need to have, it looks alright to me as regards it's not raised. This is it's typical sort of like track you would see in the depot and everything like that, because this is not high speed track. Doesn't need to be chamfered or anything like that. So to me it works by just having the track pinned to the cork and just the ballast, and then the same thing there, the demarcation line between the edge of the ballast in, a little bit of scenic, and then this is actually the baseboard painted with matte black paint, and it's fine. Why people want the texture of their pavings, I don't know. That what you see black there, that is the baseboard, or the cork that's had a couple of coats of matte paint painted over it. All that lot obviously now. So you're going to see what show you the track plan in a minute, and you can see that I follow the track plan, apart from maybe the layout down the side here with the sidings for the rail operators group. That might be in a slightly different setup to what it was, but nevertheless, the fact that at the back there you've got a crossover set of points, and then obviously the point there to come into these sidings here, you'll see that what it's like on the track plan. This one was again how to sort of see how it all worked out, so that I could make use of the centre of the baseboard. And down the front here again, it faithfully copies the track plans, so you've got the points coming off here. Maybe the one thing maybe I do regret is that where I've got the crossover here and down there to come into the side in here, I thought afterwards maybe I could have got away with another one, another crossover up here. But this is the bend starts here, right? It's immediately after that point it's curves, so I couldn't have a point there. So the only way, with the point coming down here, I could have had it crossing here somewhere or other. Bearing in mind that there, it's Hornby track set track. Yeah, it would be. The other point would have been coming over to here. So this stretch would. This would have been all points, which I thought maybe too much. As you've got a nice set of points there. That's okay. It's enough. But then at least you got a bit of track there before it hits this point. Now, talking of the points, 7 years. This has been just under 7 years old. And because it is Hornby set track, you know the plastic that Hornby uses is harder than what Pico uses on theirs. I'm going to look at the frogs. Alright, there's no wear on these frogs. Normally sort of like, there we are, look at that. It's still a nice diamond shape, look at that. So that they've not worn down. And in actual fact, if I take it over to here, this one virtually is almost virginal because it doesn't get used a lot at all. There is the point of the frog, and yet there is the frog there, and you can see the discoloration, but it's absolutely a diamond shape. So I've had no trouble at all in all the years. Come down to here again, this one gets used, keep coming off to the thing. That one not too bad. That one gets used quite a lot, but it's still a nice point. Now I've had, when I laid the track, I had 1 point foul not long after I was playing trains with it, making sure it was all working before I put the scenic on it. So it was all pinned down to the track. But one of the blades, where the blades, there's underneath here there's a little bit of a metallic strip that the things slide onto, and it broke up. I think it was spot welded to the bottom of the track for its connection, and it fouled, so it fell off, and of course there was you couldn't have any current passing through, so wasn't sure if you could soldered it or not. Well, it's just, in the end, just got a new point, and that's the only thing I've ever had to do. It's all electrified by using the spring clips, and they are painted. They're stainless steel, but they've been painted so that you don't see them very well. There they are. You see there's one there and there's one there, just at the beginning of the little guides there, and they are the Hornby spring clips. Let's see, can you see it on here? No, I don't know, but this is it, because I painted them, they're disguised. So that is how everything is alive on Toridan Road. The points aren't electrical, they're just manually turned. Because it's a small layout, I can just flip the points over myself, keep it nice and simple, no need to have them powered. Yes, I have to stand up and turn and flip the points over there if ever I want to use the sidings to get the rail operators groups out on the track, but that's about the only inconvenience really, and it's not really much of an inconvenience. Everything else, as I say, so it's all manual, but everything is live on the track, which is why you've got the little lights at the end of the baseboard, of the the buffers. They've got the little lights on them. Even the one in the corner there on the private side in there. Yeah, everything is live, all down to those spring clips that Hornby provide you with for the set track points. The current getting to the track itself comes, this is an original power bit of track there. You can see that there's the bodged around switch where the wires used to come in, but I've cut it around and hidden it underneath the little hut there. But that is a power track, and then I spurred off from there underneath on the wires. I've also connected, just to make sure I have got connection to all the tracks, but it didn't need it, but I thought just in case. There is, where is it, where did I do it? I soldered to the track here. Oh yeah, right by my finger there, there's a solder right there, and then the same on the other side, and then again down here there's this little solder bit there, and on the other side. So that's got a feed, that's got a feed, this has obviously got a feed from the power, but I mean basically underneath the baseboard, if from the back of the power supply, to the controller, you've got 3 sets of wires going to those 3 locations. But as I say, everything else that gets its power from having the spring clip on the points. everywhere. So everywhere is live, even over in the corner there, that's got the spring clip on as well, and everything's live. Now the difference that you don't see on the layout plans that I've put on there is this line here. That is just literally a piece of track, goes from there, disappears underneath the bridge here, and that is the programming track. You know, from the Gauge Master, you can program on the main track or a dedicated programming track. That is the dedicated programming track, which I've scenicked up. If ever I want to put a loco on there, I'll just remove those two wagons, you know. But it's very rarely I do that, because I do the programming of the addresses of locos and things like that on the main tracks. So, but it's there if ever I do need to use it. So there you are. I think you know, when you see on the plans, it's almost, you know, I've kept faithful to the track plan that I come up with, or that I saw, copied and just adapted for my own use, and then just done everything else to suit. But yes, I suppose, you know, without having that there, or without having this siding here, which takes up to 7 foot, I could have then, if I didn't have that siding, I could have extended the main layout only by about 6 inches or so. I wasn't going to get that much space. Well, as you can see, I've just got a couple of trains running around, including the new loco, and needless to say, all running perfect and silent. And I'll probably do some more videoing of the new loco and together with the other one. But yeah, running very well. But there you are. This is Toridan Road. So yeah, you know, the old top industrial estate there. There's a little scenic break there. You'll see a slightly different area from what the track plan showed. But you know, in that corner, I always thought to myself, yes, I'll have that covered. The buildings, they're sort of like the wheels kits. That's a Hornby kit. Then you've got the Scenecraft little garage there. Scenecraft building there, and then that was the Scenecraft low release. Well, I've turned it into a post office depot, but I've just gave it was it kept on falling forward. It's really annoying, and so therefore I put a false back to it to make it a sort of deeper structure. But you know, something you don't normally pay attention to when you're looking at Torland Road. It's just something I've done. Yeah. And that's it, the private side in there. Obviously the signal box I did the interior to and put lights. But yeah, so it's got the interior, it's got the points, it's got the levers. Alright, so that's, you know, that's a great Scenecraft building. Scenecraft again, wheels kit, Pico kit. Scenecraft, and there's a building there that you don't often see that is actually there, hidden underneath the bridge. That one there, and of course the little, all Scenecraft, yeah, generating, or yeah, power station or whatever that is. This was the Hornby plastic kit representing the Hornby offices at Margate. And then of course Backman again. But there you go, guys. That is the Toridan Road, and yeah, very happy with it. It's 6.5 years of total reliability, considering how hot it gets in. I mean, at the moment it's coming up to 1 o'clock on a Sunday. It's 22, 24 degrees now in the shed, but it's going to be hotter this afternoon. When you look at the shed here, look, see, I've got the door there. The sun starts coming in through that door in the afternoon, and it gets very hot. I get burnt in here. I can't afford to have the door shut because it gets too stuffy. But if I have the door open, the sun comes streaming in and I'll get burnt. So this is the best time today, or indeed, say, like from 8 o'clock onwards when it's getting a bit cooler. But that, hopefully, this asks everything. Now, I want to show you something because about the connection with the power, you're all thinking to yourself, oh my god, you haven't got any bus wires underneath the track, right? Yeah, because if I didn't say that, no, I haven't got a bus wire under the track. I've literally just got it connecting to the tracks there and there, and let the spring clips and the fish plates take the power throughout the whole of the layout. And it's been doing that reliably for over 6.5 years. All right. So why is that then? This is so good, and I put it down to the fact that it is Hornby set track. Why would I say that? Well, Hornby set track is designed to be put together, taken apart, put together, taken apart. All right, because obviously it's what people think is a toy train set track. What you use if you're just going to play trains on your living room carpet, you use Hornby set track. It's what comes in the starter packs of things like that with the Hornby locos and everything. And the fish plates that the track joins together with is tougher than the fish plates that Pico use. Pico use a flat steel fish plate that when you first join the track together, it grips the track, but then when you take the track apart, you've now opened up that fish plate, and therefore it hasn't got the grip that it once, from it had when the first time of use, and so it just gets sloppier and sloppier. That is not the case with Hornby. Hornby is not just a flat fish plate. If you looked at the side of it, and let's have a look. Right, let's explain. So this is the Pico fish plate, and it's thousands of years, but it's basically just a bit of stamped mild steel that when you first put it onto the rail, it opens up a little bit to go onto the rail and therefore grips the rail quite nicely. The thing is that when you then remove the track to pieces again, this doesn't spring back to where it was before because it's mild steel and it just retains the shape, the last shape it's got. So every time you keep sliding this and out, in and out of the track, it gets looser and looser. Now, Hornby set track. You see that? Totally different shape. It is, in actual fact, what you're looking at, guys, is a spring. Alright? Because as you can see, the edges actually curl over onto themselves. That means when you then slide it in on a track, you're forcing these curves up a little bit. They're gripping hard onto the track, but nevertheless, which is great. But when you remove the track again, they go back into their original shape because it's a spring and it's curved. Look, you can see it. So that is doing its best to go back and be more curved than what it actually is, because it's actually got a rail that is gripping to. That is why you can keep on taking the Hornby set track apart time and time again, and it still grips quite well. Yes, eventually it does fade, but what I'm saying that with Toridan Road, I only took these pieces apart maybe once or twice just to get the actual layout completely sorted. And that is why, look at that, you can see the curve of the edge of the fish plate, whereas look, that one's, in actual fact, you can see there, is actually facing upwards more than curved down because it's being pushed up by being put over the rail itself. And then, as I say, when you slide that one out, that doesn't spring back. That's the shape it's going to take for the next time. This springs back because it is a spring. It's curved, and I think they use a steel. I don't know what steel it is, but whatever it is, it's bloody, it's good. All right, so that's why I think, that's why I've not had a bus or anything like that needed on Toridan Road. The fish plates themselves are still strong enough, and the fact it's been 6.5 years of reliable operation in a garden shed, subject to all types of weather extremes, damp in the winter time, very hot in the summer, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I hope you can see here, I've just a screenshot on the computer, really was the easiest way to talk over this, but this is the track plan that I found all those years ago on some forum or other, someone submitting whatever it is, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, well, yeah, other than the fact that what I did, I duplicated, they didn't have this, so I duplicated that area and had it, you know, in reverse. But as you can see, you know, as you see on the layout, it doesn't exactly conform to this, because I think I've taken a line out a bit further. Anyway, but this is the original one, and you can see even on here, it's supposed to go underneath a scenic feature. Well, my scenic feature up starts there and ends in the same location, so it's a bit bigger. I think I've faithfully copied all the point work down the bottom there. There's the private siding there. This is the little sidings there that I have with a little walkway alongside it, and there you can see the line going off to the two lined the two bay engine shed. But what you don't see on here is obviously I had a little bit more room, so that's where I put the extra bit of track, which is the programming track. But otherwise, there you are. I think I've followed it quite faithfully. I think this I'd copied again. Again, I think I'd spread it out, because I've got two lines close together and then one line slightly wide apart. But anyway, this was the basis of it all, and then, you know, fiddled around with it. And of course, when it come to laying, it was all brand new track that I bought, so we were not talking about old bits of track. So basically, when this layout was built, it was done sort of like at first go, or maybe with just a couple of slight amendments, but certainly not old track getting pulled apart, put together, pulled apart, get together. And that, I think, is the secret as to why I've had no power outages with the track. You know, the fish plates, very strong, and you know, it was all done. Then I scenicked it all, and it all survived it. And the spring clips for the points, one thing another, yeah. But that was the original track, and this is what came up to me. I think it was on a Facebook, sort of said, oh, you know, have a look at a memory you made, you know, 7 years ago, and, you know, relive your memories of 7 years ago, and it was this track plan. So I thought to myself, blimey, that's when I started Toridan Road then, 7 years. And as I've shown you, there's no wear and tear. The plastic of the Hornby is resilient, more resilient, I guess. Yeah, anyway. Right, okay. Right, so coming into view then, the new loco, 60029, DC rail freight, Ben Nevis, and she's the sister loco to 60028 Kappa. But otherwise, yeah, can use the same wagons on it, because it is DC rail. That's what they run with. The loco itself running absolutely perfectly, really good. Didn't have to change the wheel sets, they were already done. So that problem that I had with the Kappa is sorted already, didn't have to do that. But I have fixed the nameplate on. I have fitted a driver figure. One of my little repainted Backman figures. Similar one as what's fitted into Kappa, same thing. Nice high-vis vest. But yeah, the nameplate's very easy, because Cadillac supplies you with a template, and even the double-sided tape you can put on the back of the nameplate to help you attach it, which is what I've used, and it all just fell together perfectly. All square, all in the right places, and as you can see, just looking fantastic. Right, let's have some proper running clips then. Okay, 12 wagons behind it with resin loads, so they're quite heavy. And I'll just have the cat get up on my lap. Here he is, Snarf again, wants to know what's going on. Hello Snarf, on me lap. What's going on? Oh dear. Yes, Snarf. It's funny, he wants to get up on me lap, But he doesn't want to be. He's not bothered about watching the locos going around. He's more sort of saying, you know, look, he's on with that. This is my fluffy boy. Look at him. It's a fluff. Yes, his fur gets everywhere. That's the only problem. Love him to death, but you know, this is what he wants. Oh look, Dad, tickle me, Dad, tickle me. No, he's a gorgeous boy. Right, let's get on to the running clips. Okie dokie. I love the fact that even the light lenses on the lamps have got indications of the fact that in the real world they're made out of LEDs, and you can see the dimples on the lens. Fabulous. Just one more thing to say before I sign off and put the running clips on. Just to say that in July I went to the Chattam and District Model Railway Club at the historic dockyard down at Chattam. Fabulous. What a great venue. So met up with Kevin of Medway Peninsula again, second time. I saw him last year, met him again this year, and Kevin is on my list. It's on my to-do list every year now. It's a fantastic venue, really good exhibition, lots of layouts. I suppose the only thing you can say, because of the structure, the huge hangar, it's not completely flooded with light, although there's, you know, light coming in, but it's darker than obviously the outside, so the layouts do benefit if they've got their own lights, you know, illuminating the layouts. There was a couple of layouts there that just relied on the ambient light and everything, and there's you know, a little bit dark. Could have done with better. Hello, Snarf, and again, look, say hello. Here's again. He wants a bit of loving today, but there you go. Yeah, so it was great. What a fantastic exhibition, Kev. Great to see you again. Picked up my little LED unit for the JCB lorry that you'll see in the film. But yeah, great. One of me best. Got this fluffy. Look, I've got a towel in here now. Oh, say hello then. Look, if you want to go and say hello, look, there you go. No.